Now, yesterday, Dominic Raab, who we've previously mentioned, was urging schools to stay open and told everybody to go out and enjoy the sunshine. This is despite the fact that he's the Deputy Prime Minister and is running the country, perhaps because of the fact that the Cobra meetings held about this over the weekend were chaired by the Cabinet Office Minister, Kit Malthouse, and not the Deputy Prime Minister who's running the country, because the actual Prime Minister had the weekend off. So where was our caretaker Prime Minister, Alison, when the country needed taking care of?
Well, he wasn't in the Cobra meetings, which was interesting. And also Boris Johnson, of course, was having a party. So, well, funny that, because he likes a party.
Boris Johnson having a party? Are you sure?
I know. But not just any party this time. This was a party at Chequers, which is obviously his country home, which the rest of us pay for. And all the great and the good turned up at this party to celebrate the marvellous work that Boris Johnson's done over the last, how many years was it? 4 years. And
yeah.
So that was his sort of farewell party. And they again, I mean, I'll skip to Cobra meeting, the big meetings they have when there's a crisis on, which of course you'll remember, Susie, he also skipped quite a lot of Cobra meetings in the run up to COVID as well.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Five.
So yet again, when the country sort of needed a bit of leadership, they've been off having a party.
All he had to do was go to a meeting. It's only going to take half hour and put things in place for, contingencies and emergencies.
And as Pauline says, is anyone really surprised? Unfortunately, Pauline, we're not surprised. And so the sooner that we just move on and get a new Prime Minister who's actually committed to doing the job, then we are hopefully we'll all be in a bit of a better place.
Well, we'll see, won't we? There are some other things on that, unfortunately. So speaking of climate change, last night the 5 Tory leadership hopefuls had another TV debate. Now, if you were anything like me, you will have switched on and seen 5 very unpleasant minutes of backstabbing, lies and viciousness, and then thought, sod this, and turned over to watch Netflix and watch Persuasion instead. But, Alison, it's worth noting that none of these candidates think extreme weather conditions are bad enough that it's worth mentioning in their leadership pitch. Perhaps that's because there's a poll out overnight that shows 4% of the Tory Tory membership actually think that climate change is anywhere on their list of priorities. Most people that they are pitching their vote to right now, the Tory members, don't care about this at all. So all their tax cuts and stuff they've been promising, a lot of them have said they're going to ditch the green levies, or they're going to try and hit net zero but do it slower or something like that. And instead, we've got contenders that really aren't talking about what's happening right out there. I mean, how is that going to work out for them, do we think? Whoever gets to be Prime Minister, they're going to have to address this. That isn't a sustainable position.
You would like to hope they've got to address it, because to be honest, if today and tomorrow don't teach us anything, it's got to teach us this isn't some far off thing that we don't have to worry about. This is in the here and now. And do you know what? I was giving my little boy a lift back from his football match, which probably shouldn't have been playing in the heat yesterday anyway. But and he said to me last night, he said to me in the car, he said, "Do you think I'm going to live all of my life?" Which is obviously a bit of an odd question anyway, because you're only going to live all your life anyway.
Thank you, children, for these questions.
But I said, yeah, no, it's fine. I said, the world's not going to burn up sort of any time during your lifetime. But I said, in your children's children, it's going to start getting quite hairy. And he said, well, what's this thing about the 50? We've only got 56 years or something, which I think he was only half listening in geography. And of course, that's the amount of time we've got to actually do everything that we need to do if we can reverse the effects of climate crisis. If we don't act like within, decades, the next couple of decades, then to be honest, it's out of control. It's a runaway train, and it's all going to end in absolutely days like this for our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, day in, day out. Food shortages, water shortages, mass migration, civil unrest. I mean, it sounds a bit apocalyptic and depressing to say something, but that is, anybody who actually understands this stuff, read it. It's all out there. It's fascinating to read. And the idea that we're looking at a next Prime Minister on a day like today, and it's not even a thing that they're mentioning. We've got Kemi Badenoch that says we shouldn't even go for the net zero. We should rein back on that. We've got Penny Mordaunt. There was a great story in our sister title, The Sunday People, at the weekend, saying that she's been taking donations from climate skeptics, people who don't really believe it's a thing. So, I mean, that proves it's real recklessness. We think we've seen recklessness under Boris Johnson. That's nothing unless we don't get a prime minister who really starts taking this seriously. And Alok Sharma, the Tory who ran the whole COP thing last year, you remember, he's threatened to resign if one of these lot don't take it, whoever gets the job doesn't take it seriously.
And it's worth remembering as well. I don't know how many Tory members we've got on this in our audience today, but in case just there's one out there, all the tax cuts that have been promised by the Tory leadership contenders are more expensive than the public sector wage increases they say are too expensive to pay and would cause inflation. Go figure.
It's all just la land at the moment.
Yes, well, Tory leadership campaign. There you go. Summed it up for you. Now, we do have some good news in the world. So Mike, actually, just before we go on, Mike just said that last night's Tory leadership debate was the best advert Labour could ever have. Very quickly, Alison, do you think Keir Starmer's happy about all this, or is he worried about who he might face?
I think he's probably quite delighted, because I think even perhaps Penny Mordaunt, which I feel could have been the hardest one for him to beat, in that her policies might be all over the shop, but I think she kind of looks and acts like a human being, which is a big step in the right direction. I don't think she's going to get it, because I think she's come across as quite lightweight in the debates. So I think it's pretty looking like a win-win, I'd say, for Starmer, if we see lots of exciting new policies from him shortly and we know which direction he's going in.
Yeah, he has been laying out some policies today, isn't he, for dealing with extreme heat and stuff like that, and government committees, cabinet committees, and so on. But announcing a committee is probably not going to, make too many front page headlines, Keir. Just a tip.